Yes, sir. What's good, family? It's your boy Tony from Hoop Army. Welcome to the first episode of Hoopin' Banter. This is just a place where we can come over here, have fun, debate basketball. I love debating basketball with y'all. And yes, sir, man. Episode 1, we have to talk about why I believe Chris Paul is one of the most underrated point guards of all time. And I know it sounds crazy. I can already hear you screaming at the computer. Chill out.
Relax. Take it easy.
Hear me out, okay? Now, if we're talking about the 5 greatest point guards of all time, most people have the exact same list. Magic at 1, greatest point guard of all time, not debatable. Probably Steph Curry 2, probably Isaiah Thomas 3. You can have those two switch out, that's alright, depending on how you feel. Most people have Oscar Robertson in there, and they have John Stockton in there because of all the records that he holds. And a lot of people love, little kids especially, they love Steve Nash. And because of the two MVPs he stole from Kobe, averaging 15 points per game. Swagger Jack, Kobe's MVPs. my fault, I got something in my throat, bro. Yeah. I think if we're talking about 5 greatest point guards ever, I think Chris Paul is the 5th greatest point guard of all time. Greatest. Keep in mind that when you talk about greatest, you have to take into account rings, MVPs, and the numbers as well. But accolades really matter, which is exactly why Steph and Isaiah and all those guys are above CP3. If we talk about the 5th spot, though, it's between Stockton and Chris Paul. Chris Paul averages 5 more points, 1 less assist with better assist to turnover ratio. So, and Chris Paul's not only a better scorer, but he's a better one-on-one defender, right? So that's why I would personally put Chris Paul 5th, because I don't know what the hell Chris Paul would do with Karl Malone. That would have been disgusting. That would have been like him and Blake, but on steroids. You know, and if we're talking about the 5 best point guards to ever do it, now I think there's a big difference between greatest and best. I think when you're talking about best, you have to take into account skills. We're only focusing on skills, on ability, the ability to score, rebound, defend, assist, and if you're a point guard, not turn the ball over. Now, if we're talking about best point guards of all time, Magic Johnson is still one. Magic Johnson is still the best and the greatest point guard to ever live. He's shown in the biggest stages, going up against Larry Bird, going up against Dr. J, Moses Malone, Hakeem Olajuwon, Michael Jordan. Like Magic is on another level, another class by himself. He, you know what I'm saying, he should, I shouldn't even mention, but I do out of respect for the conversation. You know what I mean? But if we're talking about best, from 2 to 3 to 4 to 5, the list changes. I think Chris Paul, to me, now y'all might hit this like button real quick, but Chris Paul is arguably the 2nd best point guard to ever do it. And if he's not 2nd, then he's 3rd. But if you want to compare him to Steve Nash, okay, he's a better scorer than Steve Nash. He's a better passer than Steve Nash. Better assist to turnover ratio than Steve Nash. And defense better than Steve Nash. So we got Nash out of there. If we're talking versus Isaiah, now it starts getting fun. Now it starts really getting fun. Because if you're talking about scoring, Isaiah is probably a better scorer. Assists, I think Chris Paul's a better passer. Better assist to turnover ratio as well. And defender, I think Chris Paul is a better defender. So that's debatable. Now this is where I'm going to hurt a lot of the little kids, but I got to do it. If we're talking about best point guard and you're debating it versus Stephen Curry, the only thing that Steph does better than Chris Paul is score the basketball and shoot the basketball. That's it. Okay? For his career, Steph averages 23.5 points per game and Chris Paul averages 18.4. So Steph Curry has a clear edge over there, right? We're talking about assists, so passing the basketball. Chris Paul 9.5, Stephen Curry 6.6. And Chris Paul turns the ball and Stephen Curry turns the ball over more. He turns the ball over 3.1 times. Chris Paul 2.4. They shoot about the same percentage from the field. Stephen Curry is obviously a better 3-point shooter and a better free throw shooter by 3% from the free throw line and by 6% from 3. But the difference maker here for me is the defense. I've seen Chris Paul guard Kevin Durant. I've seen Chris Paul guard Stephen Curry, Dame, Russ, Kyrie. Now, of course, he's going to get dropped a bunch. You know what I'm saying? Steph kind of had him breakdancing out there. So yeah, that was a fun moment. But I've seen Chris Paul take those challenges on and make it tough for people to score. I've seen him shut down KD in a game or two back when they faced each other in the playoffs. I think it was 2014. I don't know if it was 14. Maybe I'm wild. But I know that Chris Paul put the clamps up. Okay? Now, my point is this, right? I was debating this with my brother Maher. Steph is looking real sus right now without Clay taking pressure off of him. Struggling to get looks. Percentages are down to average percentages around the league. Because I used to think that what made Steph the most incredible point guard in the world right now was his percentages, 54-90. It ain't looking like 54-90 anymore, and that's understandable. I hold him to a standard higher than a lot of people, and I think Stephen Curry should make the playoffs. I think if Stephen Curry shows me this year what he's capable of and leads a team that honestly isn't as bad as paper makes it seem out to be, I think they should make the playoffs. If they don't make the playoffs, they should definitely be roaming around the 8th seed. But yeah, man, I'm just trying to show you guys the value that Chris Paul brings to a team. I think Chris Paul with Klay Thompson and Kevin Durant would have been a cheat code. I think Chris Paul, as a matter of fact, has never actually played with dogs, except from the one year he played with Harden, and then we're talking about Harden quitting on him the next year. If Chris Paul doesn't get hurt, is he a champion? Is he a champion? I think he is. I think they beat the Warriors in 7. I think they do. And what's wild is even LeBron couldn't do that. LeBron and Kyrie got swept. And they lost in 4. They lost in 5, I think. They lost in 5 ones and they lost in 4. So, what I'm trying to say is, appreciate the man while he's still here. He's going to take Phoenix to the playoffs. He's going to take Phoenix to places they haven't been since Steve Nash. And they're going to have a winning record. I have the Phoenix Suns finishing as a top 5 seed. And it's all going to be because of Chris Paul. His ability to score, pass, defend. If we're talking about being a two-way point guard, I think Chris Paul is the best two-way point guard of all time. Even better than even better than Gary Payton. For real, I think he scores better than GP as far as more efficiently. I think defense, GP was better, but then GP also had the physical advantage of the fact that you can hand check. My guy Chris Paul was guarding KD and Kobe out here without being able to hand check. So taking away that physicality obviously makes it a lot easier for people to score on you. You know what I mean? Now, I'm not disrespecting anybody I named here. I'm not disrespecting Nash. I'm not disrespecting Steph. I'm not disrespecting Isaiah or John Stockton. What I'm trying to say is he belongs in the conversation. Whether you have him second best or third best or fifth best like me, or you don't have him as your 5 greatest point guards ever, that's up to you. Okay, but when I'm trying to open your eyes to show you this man's greatness. 36 years old, he's about to take the Phoenix Suns and Devin Booker to a place they have never been before. And it's no coincidence. That's what he does. That's his greatness. Yes, he's not the greatest leader, for sure. He's not. He screams too much. But you can't deny his impact on the floor. You can't deny his impact on the floor. Casuals like to use the no ring argument. But as far as, being a 6-foot point guard, 5'11" point guard, there's only so much you can do. And I think he has maximized out his potential on what he can do. So, man, this is episode 1. I wanted to make it nice and quick little debate with you guys. I want you guys going crazy in the comments, letting me know. And listen, every Saturday, 2 p.m. Eastern Time, we do the Hoop Army Family Live Show, where you guys can come on live on Instagram and we can debate basketball. You guys can promote your pages and do everything that y'all doing out there. All right, man, I appreciate you guys so much. This is episode 1. Let me know what you guys want to hear next. You guys want to hear why I think Kobe Bryant's the most skilled player ever? We can do that, right? Why LeBron James might be the greatest, but he isn't the best. You guys let me know what you guys want to hear next, man. So, Happy New Year. God bless you and your family. Thank you for the endless support. Subscribe, like, and let's take over this year, man. We out.